This list introduces small, legal for self-defense EDC items that are easy to buy on Temu, chosen for how practical they are, easy to carry, easy to use, and meant to give you those few crucial seconds to get away instead of fighting back. From blinding light tools and disguised gadgets to passive protective gear, each item is meant to help you prevent danger and retreat safely. However, laws vary depending on where you live, and a lot of these items can be restricted for anyone under 18, so you should ask your parents or guardian before buying or carrying anything. Smart self-defense always puts safety first, understands the law, and knows when walking away is the right move.
Welcome Pistol Line X19. 1.
UMAREX T4E non-lethal CO2 pistol. If you want a gun that stays legal, has enough power for self-defense and training without carrying a real firearm, the UMAREX T4E non-lethal CO2 pistol is pretty much an ideal pick. The T4E line uses a round magazine that holds 6.5 zero-caliber balls and can fire rubber balls, nylon balls, and even pepper balls, giving a feeling very close to a real handgun, just with much lower lethality. Each 12-gram CO2 cartridge gives around 12 shots, and muzzle velocity typically sits around 400 to 450 feet per second, depending on the version. Strong enough to cause pain, pushback, and shock at roughly 30 feet, but still considered a less lethal marker, mainly for training and indoor home defense. The frame is reinforced polymer with a metal core, giving a solid in-hand feel. Weight is about 1.5 pounds. Total length around 10 inches, meaning draw, sight alignment, and target acquisition feel quite similar to a real handgun. Great for building muscle memory within legal boundaries. It also has Picatinny rails both under and above the barrel, so you can mount a flashlight or red dot sight, turning it into something very close to the carry gun you plan to move up to later. The reason UMAREX T4E is included in the list of legal EDC self-defense gadgets you can buy on Temu comes from its flexibility. It can be a backyard practice gun, a pepperball deterrent when someone strange shows up at your door, or a tool to teach family members firearm safety before they ever touch a real weapon. Prices for popular models like the HDP-50 or HDR-50 usually range from around $130 to $150 in the United States. Pricier than a toy, but still far cheaper than a real handgun, making it budget-friendly for beginners in self-defense. Still, it's not a magic wand. .50 caliber rubber rounds hurt badly, but in extreme scenarios, they cannot replace a real firearm if the attacker is determined, and pepper balls can drift with wind. The irritant cloud may even affect you if used indoors or against wind. Also, because it still looks like a full-size gun, drawing it in public can easily trigger panic or misunderstanding from police or bystanders. That balance between deterrence, legality, cost, and realistic handling is what makes the T4E worth having in your EDC setup if you want to defend yourself while still staying firmly on the right side of the law.
2.
Bulletproof Hoodie, NIJ-3A. If you want a boost in everyday safety without carrying bulky armor around, the Bulletproof Hoodie, NIJ-3A, is the type of normal hoodie that's not normal at all. On the outside, it looks just like a regular streetwear hoodie you'd wear to school, to work, or out around town. Soft fabric, a hood, and a front kangaroo pocket. But inside that fabric are NIJ-3A ballistic panels made from aramid fiber or Kevlar, rated to stop most common handgun rounds like 9mm, 40S and W, 45A CP, and even 44 Magnum under standard lab conditions, while also resisting shallow cuts and slashes. A hoodie like this usually weighs around 3 to 5 pounds, depending on size and panel layout, and is only a few fractions of an inch thicker than a regular hoodie, meaning from the outside, nobody would guess you're wearing body armor. Real-world pricing in the US generally falls between $250 and $400 for versions with removable NIJ-3A soft panels. More expensive than basic fashion wear, yet far cheaper than full body armor or steel plate carriers. The reason the Bulletproof hoodie appears in the list legal EDC self-defense gadgets you can buy on Temu is because it's passive protection. It hurts no one, but it may save you in the worst moment. You don't need to remember to carry it. If the weather is cool, you put it on like normal and automatically gain a shield across your chest, back, and sometimes both sides. Its greatest advantage is subtlety. It doesn't intimidate anyone. It doesn't violate weapon carry restrictions in most places. And you can sit on a bus or walk through a mall without drawing attention. However, it's not magic. NIJ-3A only stops handgun rounds and is almost useless against high-velocity rifle shots, bad angles, or point-blank impacts. The ballistic panels also make it warmer and heavier than a thin hoodie, which may get uncomfortable for people living in hot climates year-round. In certain states or countries, owning or wearing armor may be legally restricted for people with criminal records or in sensitive areas, so you still need to check local laws. If you're willing to accept those limitations, the Bulletproof hoodie is a legal, low-profile option that offers one more chance at survival when everything spirals out of control.
3.
Dapper Defender Brush Comb Knife. Dapper Defender Brush Comb Knife is the kind of item that looks perfectly ordinary, but hides a survival option for moments when space and time become painfully tight. At first glance, it looks exactly like a classic hair comb, around 7 to 8 inches long, with a matte black polymer body that's grippy, and the teeth work just like any normal comb, raising no suspicion even if you pull it out in public. But with a light pull on the handle, a thin but sharp stainless steel blade, about 2.5 to 3 inches long, slides out, sharp enough to cut tied rope, open cardboard boxes, slice nylon straps, or defend yourself at extremely close range when no other option exists. Weighing about 3 to 4 ounces, it adds almost no burden in a purse or backpack, making it well suited for light and discreet EDC. Pricing in the US typically runs between $12 and $20, much cheaper than dedicated tactical knives, making it a very accessible option for beginners in self-defense. The reason the Dapper Defender Brush Comb Knife appears in the list Legal EDC Self-Defense Gadgets You Can Buy on Temu comes from its disguise ability. The less attention a self-defense tool draws, the more likely you are to actually carry it. And in real danger, the only thing that matters is having something in your hand to fight back or escape. Its advantage is clear, near-perfect subtlety, allowing protection without alarming people around you, especially practical for women or anyone often moving through public spaces. But that strength is also its weakness. The blade is thin and short, meaning lower stopping and penetration power compared to a fixed knife, forcing the user to be very close, something nobody wants in a dangerous encounter. The slide-out mechanism is fast, but still requires calm hands. Panic can cost you critical seconds. The polymer body also limits durability. A hard impact, or someone sitting on it, may crack the comb. And in some states or countries with laws against concealed blades, it may still be classified as a disguised folding knife, so users should always check local regulations before carrying one. Used appropriately, the Dapper Defender Brush Comb Knife isn't meant for attacking, but for creating that one opening to break free and gain distance. It exists for the moment when something harmless becomes your exit, when a simple comb can shock an attacker just long enough for you to run or call for help. That is why it earns a place among legal, intelligent, and practical EDC options, something almost anyone can own without strength or advanced skill.
4.
Police Magnum Pepper Spray Pen. The Police Magnum Pepper Spray Pen perfectly reflects the idea that the deadliest tools sometimes look harmless. At a glance, it's just a classy ballpoint pen around 5 to 6 inches long and weighing under 2 ounces, with a pocket clip to attach to a shirt or bag like a normal office pen. But inside is a high-concentration OC pepper solution, usually around 1.3 to 2% OC, similar to many full-size defensive sprays. Twist open the top and press to fire. It shoots a tight, hard stream with an effective range of around 8 to 10 feet, hitting an attacker's eyes and nasal membranes, causing burning pain, tears, difficulty breathing, and disorientation for roughly 30 seconds to a few minutes, enough time to escape or seek help. Prices in the US run around $10 to $16, cheaper than stun guns or less lethal launchers. Easy to buy, easy to carry, no charging required. Its presence in legal EDC self-defense, gadgets you can buy on Temu, comes down to legality and stealth. Many US states allow civilians to carry pepper spray without a license as long as the volume is small and used only for self-defense. A pen like this draws no attention, ideal for office workers, students, rideshare drivers, or anyone who wants safety without looking like they're armed. But the advantage also brings limits. The internal volume is small, giving you only a few seconds of spraying. Aim poorly or face wind blowback and effectiveness drops. The narrow stream doesn't create a wide cloud like fog spray, requiring precise aim. Not easy under panic. Cold weather or long storage may weaken pressure, so occasional function checks are advised. The police MAGNUM pepper spray pen isn't for thrill-seeking. It's a thin barrier between you and danger. Small, discreet, affordable, low-skill, yet capable of buying survival time. A legal EDC item for those who prefer light, smart defense, not to attack, but to escape.
5.
Wrist-mounted mini crossbow. The wrist-mounted mini crossbow is one of the most curiosity-grabbing tools because it looks like nothing else here. Not a knife, not spray, not a stun gun, but a mini forearm-mounted crossbow straight from a superhero movie. The frame is usually polymer or lightweight aluminum alloy, weighing around 4 to 6 ounces, secured to your wrist with dual strap Velcro. It fires using rubber bands or a spring system, shooting mini bolts or round pellets with enough power to puncture thin cardboard or plastic, but nowhere near a hunting-grade crossbow. Draw length is around 4 to 5 inches, with low pull weight so beginners can use it. At close range, around 10 to 12 feet, a small bolt can sting sharply and startle an attacker, while nylon or rubber balls make it suitable for backyard target practice or survival skill training within legal limits. Prices on Temu and similar platforms are usually $15 to $25, while upgraded CNC metal models may reach $40 to $50, still far cheaper than real mechanical launchers. Its inclusion in legal EDC self-defense gadgets you can buy on Temu comes from classification. Most versions rely on elastic power, not explosives, and are considered sporting tools or training toys rather than combat weapons, making them legal in more areas than hunting bows or powerful air guns. The main strengths are surprise factor and recreational value. You can practice aim and trajectory daily, train survival skills while camping, and in danger, a sudden shot may buy a few seconds to retreat. But as serious defense, it has clear limits. Weak stopping power, slow reload, requires physical space to raise and aim, and wind or nerves can ruin accuracy. If worn openly, its weapon-like appearance may draw unwanted attention or security scrutiny. In legal EDC, this isn't the strongest choice, but one of the most fun. A creative mechanical survival tool that can distract at close range and buy escape time. Not a finisher, but an opener. Sometimes that's enough to get home safe.
6.
Streetwise. Pain Pen Stun Gun. Streetwise. Pain Pen Stun Gun is the kind of device that surprises people the moment they see it. It looks like an elegant pen with a smooth aluminum body, about 5.5 to 6 inches long, weighing only around 3 ounces. Yet inside is a high-voltage circuit capable of delivering shocks reaching into the millions of volts, depending on the version. When held, it feels no different from a premium signing pen with a shiny pocket clip. Easy to slip into a shirt pocket, small purse, or pen sleeve. Twist the front cap to reveal dual electrodes. Press the activation switch, and you'll hear crackling electricity and see a flash of blue arc, strong enough to make anyone in front of you freeze for a second. Its ideal use is direct contact on the arm or thigh. causing muscle contraction and temporary stun for about 2 to 4 seconds. If placed on more sensitive areas, like the shoulder or rib side, it may disrupt control long enough for you to escape. It uses a rechargeable lithium-ion battery powered through USB, usually providing dozens of short discharges per full charge. Retail price in the US often ranges between $18 and $30, cheaper than a baton-style stun gun, but with surprisingly similar effectiveness in close-range defense. The reason Streetwise Pain Pen stun gun appears in the list legal EDC self-defense gadgets you can buy on Temu comes from its unique blend of legality, power, and camouflage. In many US states, stun guns can be owned without a permit when used strictly for self-defense and kept within allowed output limits, meaning a pen like this becomes the perfect solution for office settings, college dorms, or public transportation where knives or pepper spray may make others uncomfortable. Its discreet form lets you keep a defensive option on hand without looking threatening. However, the fact that it requires direct physical contact is also its biggest limitation. An attacker must already be close, and not everyone stays calm enough to use it correctly under chaos. Humidity or sweaty hands may cause grip issues, and a shock too brief may not stop someone determined to push back. Anyone who has never used a stun gun should run mock tests at home to learn the exact distance, grip pressure, and target zones that work best. Streetwise Pen stun gun is not designed to defeat someone. It's built to help you escape when the only choices left are run or be grabbed. It fits perfectly into urban lifestyles, discreet, light, quick to deploy, and most importantly, legal in most civilian environments. One press, a few seconds of interruption, and you have your chance to get away. In the world of everyday carry self-defense, sometimes just a small spark is enough to change the outcome.
7,
Palm pepper spray. Keychain, palm. Pepper spray keychain is a perfect example of the mindset small but powerful. At first glance, it looks just like a stylish keychain, only about 3 inches long, less than 1 inch in diameter, and weighing around half an ounce. It fits neatly in your palm and clips easily to keys, jeans, or a backpack zipper. The manufacturer uses a pure OC formula of around 1.3 to 1.8%, with an optimized solvent system, producing a clean, narrow stream that reaches roughly 8 to 10 feet without misting into the air, reducing the risk of you inhaling it in a headwind. The twist-top rotating safety cap is a tiny yet extremely important detail. It prevents accidental spraying while inside a pocket. But with just half a turn, you can activate it instantly with one hand, which matters when adrenaline spikes and your fingers shake. Each canister holds around 12 to 15 short bursts, enough for multiple defensive uses or training runs. Pricing in the US usually ranges from $12 to $20, depending on color and bundle packs, cheaper than most less lethal launchers. But the real value lies in the moment it gives you a chance to escape. The reason Palm Pepper Spray Keychain is included in the list legal EDC self-defense gadgets you can buy on Temu lies in both legality and practicality. Many states allow civilians to carry pepper spray without a permit as long as the volume is below 3 ounces, meaning most people can own it without any complicated paperwork. For joggers, college students walking to dorms late at night, delivery drivers, or women who travel alone, having palm in hand means they don't need to carry a knife or lethal weapon. Just one direct spray to the attacker's eyes or nose can cause intense burning, tearing, difficulty breathing, and reduce their ability to chase for around 20 to 30 seconds. However, like every OC tool, palm is not flawless. If you stand against the wind or indoors, the irritant may blow back and affect both you and the attacker. The user must be able to draw, twist, and spray within seconds without looking down, because in a real situation, you won't have time to think. Pepper spray also becomes less effective if the attacker is heavily intoxicated, drug-affected, or wearing eye protection, and it only deters, it doesn't fully disable like a stun gun. Palm pepper. Spray Keychain is not built to win a fight. It's built to end one quickly, so you can leave safely. Lightweight, discreet, beginner-friendly, and most importantly, it's a tool you can carry every day without drawing attention. In the world of legal self-defense, the smallest things are sometimes what save you from the biggest moments. Just remember one thing: this tool is only powerful if you truly carry it, know how to use it, and have the courage to press it when the moment comes.
8.
Tactical Self-Defense Beads Necklace. Tactical Self-Defense Beads Necklace is one of the clearest examples of how a simple piece of jewelry can go far beyond aesthetics. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary bead strand, about 20 to 24 inches long, depending on version, weighing around 3 to 8 ounces, depending on whether it has a steel core or hardened polymer core, with finishes ranging from matte black to gunmetal gray and vintage faux wood. The beads are strung with high-tensile paracord, and some models hide internal metal cores to increase impact weight. When worn around the neck, it looks like normal streetwear, minimalist, or spiritual-style accessories, letting you carry it in public without raising suspicion. But the moment you grab one end, wrap it around your fingers, or coil it into your palm, it turns into a close-range flail, delivering far more concentrated impact than a bare fist. Within about 1.5 arm lengths, roughly 2 to 3 feet, one fast swing toward an attacker's arm or collarbone may trigger an instinctive recoil, giving you room to run or call for help. Pricing in the US typically ranges from $15 to $35, while steel core premium variants may exceed $50. Still cheaper than most tactical knives or batons, but offering far better concealment. The reason Tactical Self-Defense Beads Necklace appears in the list, legal EDC self-defense gadgets you can buy on Temu, comes from its undeniable legal classification. By law, it's jewelry, not a knife, not OC spray, not an electrical device, and not a projectile launcher. You can wear it into shopping malls, public transport, classrooms, even through many security-checked areas without questions, because it is, visually, just a necklace. Its real advantage is surprise, something many self-defense tools lack. However, like all tools, it has weaknesses. Because it relies on swinging momentum, it requires enough space to generate force, and at minimum, flexible wrist control. Without that, the strike may be weak or even recoil back toward the user. It's also a close-range tool, meaning you already need to be uncomfortably close for it to be effective. If the attacker wears thick clothing, leather jackets, or has something shielding their body, impact transfer reduces significantly.
9.
Small EDC Pocket Knife. Small EDC pocket knife is the most classic, the oldest, and probably the most accessible legal self-defense tool for almost everyone. A standard small folding knife usually measures about 3 to 4 inches when closed, and around 5 to 7 inches when opened, depending on the model. Blade length typically ranges from 2 to 3 inches, a critical measurement because many US states legally allow only knives with blades that do not exceed that limit. Common steels include 8 CR13MOV, AUS8, or 440C, mid-range steels that sharpen easily, resist rust well enough, and are ideal for everyday carry that doesn't require extreme cutting power. Weight is usually around 2 to 3 ounces, light enough to clip inside a pants pocket or cargo flap without even noticing it's there. One-hand opening mechanisms like thumb studs, nail nicks, or front flippers help you deploy the blade quickly when needed, while liner locks or back locks hold the blade in place so it doesn't fold during cutting. Pricing on Temu and across the market varies widely. Only about $8 to $25 to get a lightweight, practical, and reliable EDC knife. And even under $10, there are countless options for beginners. The reason small EDC pocket knife is included in legal EDC self-defense gadgets you can buy on Temu lies in its dual identity. It is both a tool and a lifeline. You might use it daily to open Amazon packages, cut rope, trim plastic edges, slice food wrap, or clip clothing tags. And it's those ordinary habits that build muscle memory, so you're ready if one day you need to defend yourself. Unlike pepper spray that only comes out during emergencies, a pocket knife lives within everyday routine, meaning it's already with you when something goes wrong. But an EDC pocket knife is not perfect. It requires safe handling skill and respect. Opening a blade at the wrong angle can cut the user instead. In real self-defense, using a knife means close contact, which is always riskier than distance-based options like pepper spray. Knife carry laws vary greatly by state and city. Some allow visible pocket clip carry, others require non-locking blades, and certain places restrict blade length specifically to 2.5 inches. Owning an EDC pocket knife therefore comes with the responsibility to understand laws and carry with purpose. Another limitation is that short blades have poor penetration through thick or layered clothing, which requires accurate assessment of the situation. No one should overestimate the power of a small piece of steel. But if you understand those limits, the small EDC pocket knife becomes one of the most reliable legal everyday carry tools. Not intimidating, not bulky, not expensive, yet always present in your pocket, ready when life suddenly tightens. It isn't a weapon built for pursuit, but a slim edge that reminds you survival is often not about overwhelming force, but about adaptability, escaping a bad moment with the humble tool your hand already knows by heart.
10.
22. Folding Sickle Survival Tool. Folding Sickle Survival Tool is where tradition meets modern practicality. Transformed from a familiar farm tool into a compact, legal survival EDC item, with enough cutting force when distance closes to just a few steps. A standard folding sickle typically measures about 6.5 to 8 inches when folded, opening to around 10 to 12 inches, depending on design. The curved steel blade, either carbon steel or stainless, is usually about 3 to 4 inches long, and the curvature naturally increases cutting power through arced momentum, meaning one proper pull stroke delivers more force than a straight blade of equal length. The handle is rubberized or made from G10 for grip, with weight ranging from 4 to 7 ounces, solid in the hand but light enough to clip onto a backpack while trekking. Most folding models use lockback or liner lock mechanisms to ensure the blade doesn't collapse under load, which is crucial when cutting rope, clearing brush, or, if needed, in close-range self-defense. Average pricing on Temu and within the EDC market sits around $12 to $30, while better steel or premium G10 handles can push above $40 but still remain accessible for basic survival enthusiasts. The reason Folding Sickle Survival Tool appears in the list Legal EDC Self-Defense Gadgets you can buy on Temu is not only because it can defend, but because it multitasks, making it harder for law to classify as a purely combative blade. Unlike tactical knives or razor-sharp karambits, folding sickles are often categorized as outdoor equipment, suitable for camping, trail clearing, and light material gathering, which keeps them legal in more regions than concealed pure combat blades. Yet, when distance collapses, the curved blade can hook and bite, delivering deeper cutting force through pulling rather than stabbing. Particularly useful if an attacker grabs your clothing or approaches from a tight angle. In an emergency, such as a jammed seatbelt, a curved blade can slice straps faster due to greater contact surface. However, Folding Sickle Survival Tool is not a flawless defense choice. The blade must be deployed before use. And without one-hand opening practice, those few seconds of fumbling may cost you safety distance. It is also a close-range tool, meaning you're already within danger to use it. Carbon steel holds an edge well, but rusts if not dried. Stainless resists rust.
11.
The pocket shot, slingshot. The pocket shot slingshot is a perfect example of how a compact device can be much stronger than people expect. Instead of the classic Y-shaped frame, pocket shot uses a circular rubber pouch, about 1.2 to 1.5 inches in diameter, weighing only around 2 to 3 ounces, small enough to fit in your palm or front pocket. Load a steel or glass ball about 1/4 to 0.3 inches wide into the pouch. Pull the rubber chamber back around 3 to 4 inches. And the stored tension can launch the shot at roughly 250 to 300 feet per second, depending on whether you use a standard or high-impact pouch. With the arrow cap attachment, it can even shoot mini arrows around 6 to 8 inches long, useful for light survival tasks, fishing, or practicing aim and trajectory control. Each shot takes only a few seconds to prepare and fires with nearly no sound, making pocket shot an appealing EDC tool for those who want something mechanical, simple, and discreet. US pricing generally falls between $20 and $40, with combo sets including steel balls or spare pouches costing more, but still very affordable compared to a real airgun or crossbow. The reason. The pocket shot slingshot is included in legal EDC self-defense gadgets you can buy on Temu, comes from its non-explosive design. It isn't classified as a firearm, and in most US states, it's viewed as a recreational shooter or survival tool. This allows it to bypass a lot of legal restrictions that firearms or high-powered launchers often face. In a defensive situation, pocket shot isn't as strong as a pepper ball launcher or a stun gun in close range, but it has something most tools lack: surprise at around 10 to 20 feet. A well-placed steel shot can cause sharp pain and force a startled reaction, giving you a few crucial seconds to retreat or get to safety. However, the same mechanical nature creates limitations. Accurate shots require steady hands, angle estimation, and calm control, all difficult under stress with shaking hands and quick heartbeat. Rubber pouches wear out over time, losing elasticity or tearing if left in sunlight, so users should keep spares and check condition regularly. Steel shots can ricochet off hard surfaces, so awareness of target and environment is important to avoid accidental rebound. Overall, the pocket shot slingshot is not a domination tool. It's an opening tool. Strong enough to create distance, small enough to carry daily, legal enough to avoid trouble, and fun enough to train with like a real survival skill. If you want an EDC setup that's compact yet useful when danger arrives unexpectedly, Pocket Shot isn't just an upgraded toy. It's a tiny escape ticket that fits in the palm of your hand.
12.
Bulletproof Backpack, NIJ-3A. Bulletproof Backpack, NIJ-3A, is one of the smartest passive self-defense tools a person can carry in everyday life without being viewed as armed. On the outside, it looks just like a standard laptop backpack, around 14 to 18 inches tall, 10 to 13 inches wide, and roughly 4 to 6 inches thick, depending on model. Average weight ranges from 2 to 4 pounds, heavier than a normal school bag, but still light enough for all-day carry. Inside the nylon or cordura shell is an NIJ-3A ballistic panel, capable of stopping most common handgun rounds, such as 9mm, 40S and W, 45 ACP, and even 44 Magnum under standardized conditions, while also reducing damage from stabbing or sharp impacts. Some versions use removable panels for cleaning or upgrades, while others embed the armor inside the lining for better concealment. The backpack still includes 15 to 17-inch laptop slots, storage for books, notebooks, or other EDC gear, letting users carry it daily without changing habits. US pricing typically falls between $180 and $300, depending on brand and panel construction. Cheaper than full-size body armor, but significant enough to meaningfully increase personal safety. The reason Bulletproof Backpack, NIJ-3A, appears in the list legal EDC self-defense gadgets you can buy on Temu is simple. It's protection without confrontation. In an emergency, for example, gunfire in a school hallway, bus terminal, or public space, a user can pull the backpack to their chest or back as a shield. The ballistic panel slows and disperses handgun impact, giving you precious seconds to move to cover or exit the area. Unlike a knife or stun gun, a backpack doesn't require you to physically engage an attacker, making it a safer option for students, office workers, late-night commuters, or anyone who wants self-defense without violence. Still, its limitations matter. NIJ-3A does not stop high-velocity rifle rounds like 223 or 7.62 by 39, nor repeated stabs in the same point. And it only protects the area the backpack covers. In serious crises, having good escape awareness is just as important as equipment. And because this is passive protection, panic or forgetting to orient the backpack toward the threat can drastically reduce its usefulness. Even so, Bulletproof Backpack remains one of the most legal, low-profile, and intelligent choices in modern EDC defense. It doesn't ask you to be brave, doesn't ask you to fight, only to survive long enough to run. You can bring it to school every day, and no one would know a layer of quiet armor is watching your back. In reality, the things that don't look special often hold the most power, because they're there when you need them, without fear, without attention. And sometimes they're the border between danger and survival. Bulletproof Backpack, NIJ-3A, is proof of that, not built to win, but built to get you home.
13,
AI Gear Tactical Stick. AI Gear Tactical Stick is a perfect example of something that looks like just a hiking pole, yet is actually a fully capable and legal survival and self-defense tool. A common setup measures about 34 to 36 inches when all sections are assembled, built from aircraft-grade aluminum or carbon fiber, with a tube diameter of about 3/4 of an inch and weighing roughly 1.5 pounds. Solid enough to take force, but not so heavy that it tires your arm during a long hike. Its modular design allows each section to be unscrewed and packed into a backpack, then reassembled in under half a minute. Inside the shaft, many versions hide extras, like a hardened steel glass breaker tip, anti-slip spike, fire starter, or small cutting blade to deal with tangled straps or rope in emergencies. In daily use, it works simply as a walking stick that helps stabilize you on steep slopes, muddy trails, or loose rock, reducing strain on knees and ankles. But when needed, its length, over 3 feet, allows it to function as a temporary spear, letting you push, jab, or redirect someone without having to step into danger range. Real-world pricing for the AI Gear Tactical Stick generally sits between $50 and $70, more expensive than cheap trekking poles, but far more forgiving and versatile than a high-grade tactical baton. What earns AI Gear Tactical Stick a place in legal EDC self-defense? Gadgets you can buy on Temu is its legal identity. By definition, it is a walking stick, not an offensive weapon. You can bring it on a trail, carry it during night walks, or even use it like a support cane in public. And almost no one will view it as threatening. If danger appears, having a long stick in hand lets you create distance instantly. Simply brace it in front of you, push outward with both arms, and you have a solid barrier between you and someone closing in. However, the AI Gear Tactical Stick has limits. Its length makes it difficult to conceal in an office or on public transport, and in security-controlled areas, guards may ask you to leave it outside. The threaded modular joints can loosen under heavy impact if not tightened properly, and beginners may hold it off balance, losing leverage and reach advantage.
14,
United Cutlery M48 Tactical Sword Cane. United Cutlery M48. Tactical Sword Cane is one of those EDC items that makes people look twice before realizing it isn't just a walking cane. When closed, it appears elegant and straightforward. The shaft made from nylon-reinforced fiberglass, measuring about 35 to 37 inches long, under 1.5 inches in diameter, and weighing around 1.4 to 1.6 pounds. Exactly what you'd expect from a cane designed for stepping support on stairs, slopes, or rain-slick sidewalks. But with a small twist of the top, the threaded mechanism reveals a hidden stainless steel blade, 2CR13 steel, roughly 20 to 24 inches long, slim, sharp, and evenly tapered from base to tip. The handle is shaped ergonomically with textured grip to prevent slipping during the draw. You can use it as a walking cane for everyday mobility, or, when absolutely necessary, Draw the blade in one motion and turn the cane into a mid-range melee weapon. US pricing typically ranges from $50 to $90 depending on batch. A reasonable range for someone who wants a stealth option that still remains legal in many regions. The reason United Cutlery M48 Tactical Sword Cane appears in legal EDC self-defense gadgets you can buy on Temu lies in its legal gray but acceptable nature. It is a cane first, a sword second. Many states and countries consider sword canes mobility aids if carried for walking support. And because the blade is hidden fully inside the shaft, it doesn't trigger fear or alarm publicly the way an exposed blade would. This makes it suitable for older users, those recovering from leg injuries, or anyone wanting a quiet guardian for late-night walks. However, legality varies heavily by location. Some regions allow ownership but ban public carry, while others only recognize it as legal if genuinely used as a walking aid. Meaning, you must know the law, and you must know where drawing the blade is and is not acceptable. The M48's biggest advantage is reach. Unlike a pocket knife that demands close contact, you can establish deterrence from 7 to 10 feet away simply by shifting into a ready-draw stance. But the weaknesses are equally clear. To use the blade, you must draw in time. If an attacker rushes too quickly or approaches from behind, the cane may remain just that, a long baton for blocking instead of a sword. And although the fiberglass shaft is durable, heavy blocking can eventually crack it. More importantly, this is a true lethal blade, not a less lethal tool like pepper spray or polymer baton. Drawing it means entering a level of confrontation where precision, restraint, and legal awareness matter deeply, because unnecessary injury carries real consequences.
15.
Streetwise Stunbrella. Stun Flashlight. Streetwise Stunbrella Stun Flashlight is a rare legal self-defense tool that can literally keep you dry like a regular umbrella while also acting as a stun gun. Plus tactical flashlight, making it a multi-function protector that doesn't make you look like you're carrying a weapon. When closed, it's a full-length umbrella, about 2.5 to 3 feet long, weighing around 1 to 1.2 pounds, built with steel or fiberglass, wind-resistant ribs, and a rubberized, non-slip handle. The shaft houses a high-output stun gun system capable of delivering shocks in the millions of volts, model-dependent, strong enough to cause muscle contraction, disorientation, and force an attacker to recoil after just half a second to 2 seconds of contact. The integrated flashlight, located at the umbrella tip, produces roughly 300 to 600 lumens, with a strobe mode for navigation or visual disruption before stunning. A rechargeable lithium-ion battery provides about 1 to 2 weeks of real-world usage when used only as a flashlight, or dozens of stun discharges per charge. Market pricing typically ranges from $40 to $80, more expensive than a normal umbrella, but far cheaper than a dedicated electric baton. What earns Streetwise Stunbrella Stun Flashlight? A place in the list, Legal EDC Self-Defense, Gadgets You Can Buy on Temu, is its ability to blend in perfectly. You can carry it onto buses, walk with it at night, wait outside a parking lot, even pass through some security stations without being viewed as armed. Unlike a folding knife that needs to be opened or pepper spray that depends heavily on wind direction, the Stunbrella can activate the moment an attacker is within reach. One direct contact to the arm, ribs, or weapon-holding wrist can trigger sharp muscular lockup, opening enough space for you to retreat. The built-in strobe provides pre-shock distraction, flash to disorient, then stun only if escape requires force. This reflects a smart defense philosophy. Delay, disengage, don't escalate unless necessary. Still, the Stunbrella is not flawless. For the stun feature to work, you must achieve direct physical contact, meaning the attacker is already inside a danger bubble of under 3 feet. If caught off guard, if you fail to disengage the safety switch, or if sweaty hands cause slip, even half a second of hesitation can flip the situation. As a high-voltage device, long-term humidity exposure or inconsistent charging may weaken the battery and reduce shock output. Its long form also becomes awkward in tight spaces like elevators or car seats, requiring practice to draw-turn activate one-handed if you want real reaction speed. Even so, the Streetwise Stunbrella Stun Flashlight remains a top-tier stealth EDC option, a tool you can carry year-round without anyone realizing you're protected. It doesn't require martial skill or aggression, only calm timing and a step backward. Sometimes, to get through the storm of danger, an umbrella isn't just to stop the rain, it's to make sure you make it home whole. In the end, the legal self-defense EDC items on this list are only supporting tools. The real deciding factor is your awareness and how you handle the situation. Carry things according to the law, use them only at the right moment, and always prioritize avoiding danger instead of confronting it. When you prepare the right way, you give yourself a better chance to stay safe, and that's the real value of any self-defense device.